Time for another board game review, and this time we have the game Get Lit. This was sent to me by Lion Rampant Imports and is designed by Bruce Whitehill. An explosive card game for friends and family. Benny Burns likes it loud, and there's nothing louder than explosives. Show him what you've got at the annual Safe Breaker competition. The winner gets a look at Benny's legendary safe collection. To win, you'll need to set off the explosives with the longest fuses. Watch out for the other pyromaniacs that have gathered for Get Lit. They're after the Big Bang themselves. It's fair game to drench out their fuses and cut off their blasts. Get ready for some explosive fun. The fuse is already lit. Let me show you how to play. So the object of the game is to collect the highest value fuse cards by setting off 2 bombs at the right moment. Use water cards to drown out the other player's chances of scoring. As soon as the cutting card is drawn, it cuts all the fuses and ends the game. The player who has collected the most valuable set of fuse cards wins. So each player gets dealt 4 fuse cards along with 1 water card. Then you take the rest of the fuse cards and you shuffle them up, and then you take about the last roughly 25 of them or so, and you mix in this cutting card inside it. Now the small pile of cards containing the cutting card gets put at the bottom of the deck. And this is your draw pile. Now, on your turn, you can either play a card from your hand or set off a bomb. When you play a card, you can either play a fuse card or a water card. And you play it in 2 rows of fuse cards called fuse lines. So let's say I put one here. That's our first fuse line. So if there are no fuse lines, you may play the first card to start one. If there's only 1 fuse line, you may choose to start a second fuse line adjacent to the first one. And if there are 2 fuse lines, you can choose, I'm going to put it here, I'm going to put it here. Whichever one you want. Cover the card value of the previous card with the card you play on this fuse line. Only the most recent card in each fuse line has their value visible. Now, if you play a water card on a fuse line, it immediately removes all those fuses in that fuse line from the game. Now, the water card remains in play. Once the fuse cards have been removed, you place your water card on the other water card. So let's say I had, I don't know, something like this here. If I played a water card here, I would remove these fuse lines and move this on top of that water card. If there is no fuse line, you can start a fuse line with a water card if there aren't already 2. And you can also play it on top of a previously played water card with no effect. And the other thing you can do on your turn is set off a bomb. You may only detonate 2 bombs in the game. To set off a bomb, take a card from your hand and slam it face down with the explosion inside face up onto a fuse line. And that means you take all the cards from this line and put them in a pile face up in front of you. You claim all those cards as 1 bomb. You keep your 2 bomb piles in front of you during the game, clearly separated from one another. Once you have either played a card or set off a bomb, you refill your hand of 5 cards from the draw pile. The game ends immediately if someone draws the cutting card, which is somewhere in the bottom here, or if all players have set off 2 different bomb piles. So you count up your points. Now this card you use to detonate the pile is not counted, but the other ones, 5, 10, 15, 30, 45, this would be 45 points for 1 bomb pile. And then you subtract the values of any cards in your hand. So if you had these 2 cards left in your hand at the end of the game, you would lose 25 points. The game is supposed to be played very fast-paced. You play quickly so that it's hard for your opponents to keep track and make good decisions. And so at the end of the game, if you have the most points in your bomb piles, you are the winner. And that's how you play. There's not a whole lot to say about this one. The theme is fine. I guess it comes across with the fuses and the water and the explosions. I guess that's kind of fun, but honestly, the description for the game is way more interesting than what the game actually is. To me, it just feels like a very overly simplistic, push your luck kind of game. That isn't actually that fun to play. The game encourages you to go fast so that other people can't remember what numbers were placed before you, but then what ends up happening is you're just kind of putting down numbers as fast as you can, and oh, someone bombed it, they get the pile. No, just keep going and try to guess, oh, I think it's a lot, I'm gonna grab this pile with the bomb, or I'm gonna ruin this pile with the water. It feels very arbitrary in that regard. I understand why you need to play fast, because otherwise it's just a counting game. Everyone would just be counting, oh, 45, 60, 65, this one has 70, right? But at the end of the game, it's not very satisfying to win, because you're just kind of going, I think that has a lot, bomb it. I'm gonna water that one, and I'm gonna bomb this, and hopefully I'll have a lot of points at the end. It really just felt like a grab them quick and hope for the best kind of just luck fest. I can't even really recommend this game as a filler game or party game. Like, it was just, after it was done, which is, it's a very short game, and afterwards you just kind of go, okay, that was an experience. There's almost no substance and really no satisfaction that I can find within this game.